All right, hey guys, Sam here back with you from TradeDevils-Indicators. I've got a little bit of a concoction that this is a template I use, and I've demoed this before, but we've got a lot of new subscribers, members in our Discord here, so I thought I would just review this here with a few tweaks and just show you how something simple like this can really be profitable, right? It can just make the trading decisions a bit easier. This requires less capacity to read the market and more just a discipline to take the trades when they're presented. So let me just show you what I've put together here. It's a bit of a Frankenstein here. I've created an SSL channel through two EMAs, but I've done it through the Gann high-low indicator and then an EMA. So you've got an SSL channel essentially without any kind of ATR splitting the distance between the two. So they're just right next to each other. So let's just walk you through the setup here into this template. Then I'm going to show you some manual back testing of this. I'm just going to use the last week. That's all I ever do. Right? I don't cherry pick data. I always just use the most recent week of data so that we can draw any conclusions from this. Now, I would encourage you, if you don't have some of these tools, just a reminder, you can demo all of our tools for a full week, right? Or I should say, it's 7 calendar days. You get 5 full trading days. So that should give you enough time to make a decision as to whether or not you think this is something you'd want to add to your arsenal. So let's put together the package here. Well, first, just Priceline. I always have our toolbar on, right? Because I use it so often. Not essential to this strategy, but you'll see me perhaps use it for a few things. Our initial balance, right? There is no chart, no demo, no video I've ever recorded, no day I've ever traded without that on, right? Those are the two most important levels on the board every day. I would defy anyone to challenge that. I do have our auto fibs on here, although I'm going to if I were trading this, of course, I would have auto fibs on it. But for the purposes of a back test, which is essentially this is, I'm going to use the measured move indicator because the auto fibs is showing you where the measured move entry points or algo locations are in real time. Measured move is showing you history. So if you were trading this here, Monday morning here, the auto fibs are going to show you there's a golden zone there. But if I'm back testing here, I can't recreate it, right? Because the auto fibs are always off to the right edge of what the current price action is. So that's why I'm using the measured move here. It's not essential for this template here. Wouldn't hurt, but I'm not suggesting you need to make an investment there. I wouldn't trade this without the auto fibs, personally, right? That's just me. Right? Again, I know that's more investment, but you can draw them yourself, right? If you're on a budget, you can draw the fibs yourself. I do have our manual backtester on, which again, if you don't own it, 5-day trial probably give you some good things to work with there, some good ideas. Now I do have our Gann high-low on this. Again, high-low, it's just very simple conceptually. It's just when it takes out the high-low, whatever. Well, here, let me get it on here. So I'm using a 21-period EMA. So all it's doing is it's flipping, right? Whenever it takes out the last low of the EMA, or what would be a break of if it were just a moving average. If it broke the moving average, well, then it's going to flip to the other side. So you get these flip points, which are important to take note of. Now, the other reason that I like our Gann high-low is because it has a squeeze indicator built in. See, so here you see, so if the market goes into consolidation here, I want to be alerted to that. I don't want to be trading blindly in and out of this, and you'll find there can be real advantage in the way that this little SSL channel is created is when we come out of the squeeze. You'll find that it's as close to 100% as you might ever find, right? When we come out of the squeeze, if we're on the other, if the SSL has green above, right, you're likely coming out to the buy side. If it's got red, oh, here we go. If it's red coming out of the squeeze, right here, here's the flip, then here's the squeeze, but we're coming out with the lower EMA in red, right? Think of it that way, right? Very, very high win rate. Right, now just something I draw your eyes to. Now, members I've done demos on that before. But again, many of you may not have seen this here, so that's why. So I've got a tight SSL channel with a squeeze indicator built into it based on a 21 EMA. Now, I'm using, just to make this easy and not make it one, you got to buy all of our stuff. This is an EMA slope color. Now, if I close this here, because I've got it twice, let me bring this over here. Oh, hang on. Can I get that over? Let's do it this way. Okay, I guess I got to do it this way to show you this. So I'm over on the NinjaTrader ecosystem. If you just put in the search bar EMA slope color, right, which I use, right, because I don't want just an EMA, I want the color change. So, and I think you'll find that that will be an assist. So here's a free indicator in NinjaTrader's ecosystem. You can grab this, no charge to you. So let me, I'll get you up here. Let's get you now down and out of here. Okay, so that's out. Now, additionally, oh, pardon me, I should have mentioned here, I have our WADA ATAR, right? Just an extra filter. So to complete the template, and you can see I've got some trades on here because I didn't want to make this video 2 hours long. Doing all of these, I'll just walk you through some of them. So this is our WADA ATAR. This is the default settings. And we're just using this as an additional filter in the same way that I'm using a 200 period EMA. So this is the EMA slope color. 200 period. This little green one here that's a solid color, that's just an EMA slope color at 21. So I've got a 200, a 21 EMA, and then our GAN high low built with a 21 EMA into it. WADA ATAR and our initial balance. Right? So that's the full template. If you're interested in this template, you could write us or come over to our Discord or submit a ticket here. I'm glad to provide it for you if you're interested. Okay, let me get the crosshairs off of here. What is it? Shift R? Oh, shit. Hang on. I always forget what this. I think it's Control Q. No, Control R. There we go. All right, what is it here? Control R. All right. Okay, so I got that. Okay, so let me go back here. I've got it's an ES 2000 tick here, and I've just gone back. I think I went to the 26th. So bear with me here. I'm gonna walk you through this here. Tried to save you a little time. So here's the 26th right here. All right, so Monday, that was kind of a bumpy start to the week. I know a lot of people got eaten alive here. And I'll show you how this, because I remember that day well. I was trying to trade it. Okay, so now here's the start of the day. Now you'll note here with our initial balance indicator, you can see it, but it's grayed out because we're back a week. So, but I can still see where the I behind low is, right? So you see here. So as we start here, now here are the conditions for a trade. Price must be above the 200 EMA. Price, if we're coming out of a squeeze, I'm only interested if we are under the 200 EMA. And I'm very focused on which side of the SSL channel I'm going to use that, because that's essentially what I've created. Are we red or green coming out of the squeeze? So here's the first. This is all squeeze. You don't want to trade any of this, right? Note here, even though we get a flip, we're still in a squeeze, still in a squeeze, still in a squeeze. This entire section here. Right, I know a lot of people lost a lot of money, right, and they're trying to trade that, right? Because are we going? Oh, no, are we selling? Right, it's just slop chop, right? It's often on a Monday morning, the market hasn't quite cranked up to where algos are really running. So this is very dangerous, right? You can see, we're going side. Look at the 200, right? It's going sideways. This is not the stuff you really want to be trading in. I know it's hard, right? You know, when it's right there in the morning, are you thinking, oh, well, is it going, right? And then right, where are we going? Oh, is it a breakdown? Right, it's just slop. So here's the first trade that meets our criteria. So with regards to the WADA ATAR, let's finish the criteria here. Ideally, we want to see both the bars here be above the explosion line and the trend line here, what do we call it here? The churn line. Well, let's call it the white line here, because essentially that means we're trendless. So the ideal scenario would have the explosion line rising. Whether we're going up or down, rising means we have trending, and then we have this little trend line. So for example, get an arrow here, right? So right here, you see we're way below the trend threshold here. So as this comes down, it's actually as we come into the pivot, just lack of trend is what you're seeing here. And then we have while we have the bars above the explosion line is heading down. That's not necessarily a no take, because we want to be above both, and you were above both here, but you'll note here you wouldn't be looking at buys because we're below the 200 EMA. So these are both filters to keep you out of the worst trades and keep you into the best trades. So here we go again, right? Now here we come right into a golden zone, right? Which, now, if you're using auto fibs, it would be right there. It would be right on the side as you see these, right? So, and if you wanted to add them, you can always just Alt F and it'll put them on the charts. So you know there's going to be a stack of golden zones right here, right at the EMA or at the 200 EMA. Is that a trade you want? Well, maybe, but note what's going on with the SSL channel here, my modified SSL. Well, I'm coming out of the squeeze. I'm green coming into it, but I'm below the 200 EMA, so I'm not taking that trade. Right, so I go now. I start to get a little squeezy in here again. Right, this is just the reason the squeeze is so important is because it's 100%. When we come out of that contraction, we expand. There is nope. Unless we are going into the close, there is no time where you won't see that. Right, from the contraction comes the expansion, 100% of the time. One of the very few things in trading where you can say that with certainty. Again, unless we're going into a overnight, something like that. If you're during the day, if you come out of a squeeze, you're going to expand. If you go into a squeeze, we're contracting, right? It's just, you can call it law of the markets, you can call it law of the universe, whatever however you want to think of it. For us, what do we care about? All we care about is looking to be participating in that in the edge that creates from that expansion. So if I get a little edge here by the fact that the 21 EMA is below the Gann high low, okay, that's a little edge that I want to take note of. So here's the first one that meets all the criteria right here. So the way I've set this in the manual backtester here is that we're working with a 12 tick stop. I'm going to do this as a one lot. I think what you'll see here is that I would trade this in a two lot. I would have a scalp target, maybe 4 or 5 ticks, and then the longer term target would be 2-to-1 risk reward. So I've got a 12 tick stop. So anytime I get to 24 ticks, that'll be a profit, right? So if I were trading this with Ninja, I'd have an ATM set to take one off at, I don't know, whether 4 or 5, right, or 5, so we clear 4. Cover your fees, and then a runner that would exit at 24. That's how I would trade it. Again, there's no magic numbers there. That's just 2-to-1's a good risk reward to use for this. So here's the first trade of the day on the 26th that meets the criteria. 24 ticks. Okay, we got nothing below. Right, so we're below the 200. So we're looking for sells. Here I'm coming out of the squeeze. Here, so right, red, right. I look down here, all's good. We're below the 200, right? So I got one here. Now I don't get, as I recall, this goes like right to it, but it goes. Oh, come here if I can get that hot to show you here. I think it goes right. It goes right to 24 ticks. Well, when you're back testing, don't be generous to yourself. Be realistic. Are you going to get the entry here to the tick and the exit to the tick? No. So I would say here, if I were in this here, you're not going to know to get out there. So as it starts to come back, I'm just going to if we come back into the SSL channel here, I'm going to just call that a loser, right? So they're just or break even essentially, right? Right, let's not be generous with ourselves. Let's be hard on ourselves. Let's be realistic. Well, now here we come in, right? I've got a nice little cluster here of measured moves right here of golden zones and 50s, right? So they're pulling from higher pivots. That's why you see 2 of them. It's using 2 different pivots. So I've got a nice little location here to be looking for a short. Well, I come up. No, well now I'm above the EMAs, but I'm below the 200. Well, now as I come out of that, right, pretty aggressively, we'll look down below, right? Okay, well, so here's the big bar right here. So it meets all the criteria. I come down here, 24 ticks. Right, so I'm just exiting at 24 ticks. Happens to be the algo target, right? The measured move target from this golden zone. You see a collection of them because we have 2, this one and this one, all the targets here. So here again, there's more left on the table here, but again, we're just going to be disciplined about this back testing. So 24 ticks, we're out. Okay, now we're coming back here. Well, I get a cross here, but I'm under the 200, so I'm not using that. Ooh, boy, that's pretty fat territory here of algo resistance. I'm above here, right? But I'm below, right? So this is no trade, right? So even though, but look what the net result would have been there, right? All of this slop, and chop, right? Via squeeze, which is why I never want to not know when we're in a squeeze, right? Just against me, right? So I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm just saying that way. I think it will assist you. So we're just going sideways, squeeze. Now I start to come out of the squeeze, red. right? The 21 EMA is below the Gann high low, so we're coming down. Are you taking this trade? Well, you have one here, but it doesn't get 24, so I'm calling this. So if I do it this way, you can see here we enter, we don't get 24. We're coming back this way. If I'm coming back to this, I'm calling that scratch. Now I come into another cluster of golden zones, and you see why you. This is foundational to me, to everything that I do. I can't imagine anyone seeing how responsive these are in the market and not going, "Whoa, I better have that somewhere, somehow." Again, you could draw them all, but that's not a very efficient way to do it. So for the reasonable investment into a tool like this, whether it's auto fibs or measured move or both, right? It's pretty nice to know that that's there. So do I want to buy? If I get across here, do I want to buy into that? Definitely not, right? So here now I'm coming out of the squeeze. I start to go here. I'm above the explosion line. I'm above the trend threshold here. Right here, right? This is the bar that I get it. So as I come down here at this tail end of the day, it's up to the individuals or whether you're trading that. But there's another. What did I get there? It's 20. Another. Oh, I think that's 20. I went too far there. Let's get 24 ticks right there. Okay, so day one. Oh, this has got the full total, which you can see, right? That works out pretty well. Okay, so day one, pretty good results. I don't think I had a single loser. I just had a couple of scratches. Day two, right? Okay, here we go again. Right now, I'm not going to try and speed this up here, right? So you're not going to. I'm not going to do every one of these, but because I want you to do it yourself, right? That's the idea. I'm just giving you some ideas. Okay, so here we go again, right? Okay, well, we're here's coming out of the squeeze. We're red, below the Gann high low. We're below the 200, taking the trade. I think this one we didn't get it. Oh shit! Why do I have that? I don't remember why I had that. So let's assume that you're a small loser here. Scratch. Oh, let's make it a scratch, right? Let's not be. Let's just assume we came here and you thought, oh, maybe it'll go again, but it's a scratch, right? So even if you were here thinking, oh, maybe it's going to go here, pop here, so you'd be out. So your worst case, well, I guess worst case would be a full stop. But if I'm coming back in, I get on the other side, I'm out. I'm out of that trade. I'll take the break even. Now here's the cross, but we're below the 200. Now we're going into a little slide sideways here, right? Where nothing happened, but we're below the 200. So we continually are trying to pop above, but just squeezy. Now here I'm still in a squeeze here. So you note here, don't keep an eye on. Even though there's a gap here, we're still in a squeeze. It's just that this EMA has crossed below. So, but it's still squeezy. Still squeezy. Do I want to take this long? Nope. Do I want to take this short? Oh, maybe I'm being too generous there. Let's take the short here and put it to our list of losers here. So you're coming out right here. Oh, everything's good here. So let's just assume you took a full hit there, right? So you took your 12 tick stop there. And again, try and be realistic. Okay, are we doing anything here? This is all squeeze, right? No, right? This is keeping you out of this. That's the point, right? It's keeping you out of all of this slop. Okay, now I'm coming out. Now here, I look down here. Okay, all systems are go. Good, I'm below the 200. I've had the cross. I'm coming out of the squeeze. So here's the entry. A little choppy, a little sloppy. Boom, I get my 24. Right, here's the stop, right? So from the entry here, never really threatened. Right, we never got on the other side of the Gann high low, right? So or the SSL channel that I've created. So you got your 24. Coming back here, nice measured move. Do I want that? Nope, we're below the 200. Okay, here I got a few more here. Okay, so here's a decent one. I'm coming out of the squeeze. All right, let's go ahead and put on. I thought I had them all, but maybe not. Okay, so I'm going to use our manual back tester here. So I've just hit F12, so I'm coming out here. Now, there's my stop right here. So note, see the stop is 12 ticks. Nope. I go into a squeeze here. You probably add one here. What do I get there? That's 16. I don't have it. Got it. Okay. All right. So there's 24 from this entry. Here's the stop. Never really threatening. You had an opportunity to add another one there, but let's assume you didn't because it's tail end of the day. Okay. So we had a couple of scratches, one full hit loser, although let's just assume full hit loser. So you're doing pretty well so far. Okay, let me try and go through these a little faster. Okay, all slop, chop, all sorts of just sideways. We're below the 200, but you're nonstop squeeze, 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 squeeze. Oh, first thing pops. I'm coming out of a squeeze. Note here, green. I'm above the 200. Here's the stop right here. If I'm entering right here, right? So I'm always assuming 1-2 ticks of slippage. And by the way, this includes commission at 399, right? Just for a round number. So I'm coming out of this, 24 ticks. Okay, now I'm up here. I got all this going on. I'm looking for longs based on the 200. So I've got this here. I went long here on this right here. Full stop. Right, iffy. Right, but okay. Again, would you have known right here that that wasn't going to fly? No. Right. So let's take the full hit there on the loser. You can make a case you had a short here, but you're below the you're above the 200, so you're not taking that and you're not chasing after the fact, right? So you're coming back this direction here. Here's the next one here. We get let's see, I'll show you here. So we get here, we don't get 24. I get 22. So I'm coming back all the way here. This is a scratch to me, right? If it comes back and we're breaking below, my worst case here is a break even on that. Okay, so now we come back here. We're kind of at the consolidation, right? Everybody's meeting here at the 200. Now we come out of it based on this. I would take that trade. I got the full 24 here. Again, I'm not trying to be generous with myself. I just know that if I see that golden zone there and I see this little consolidation where I have everything coming together at one spot, what I'm looking at is where's the lower EMA? Where's the EMA, right? So we're below the Gann high low. We're coming out of I've just hit a golden zone. Yeah, I'm going to take that trade. You know, some of that comes from having traded this for many years now. Okay, so we come down. There's a full 24. Now here I'm crossing, right? I'm not taking that. Would you want to take that right into that golden zone? The only way you would take that is if you didn't know it was there. Right, so boom, right to the 65. No. Oh shit, I think we're getting into the big monster days. Okay, so here's a nice short. You're not taking that because you're above the EMA. Here's a nice short, right? So you're below this. Here's what did I do here? This is yeah, you got your full 24 here. So here's the trade. Retrace here. We're below. We're here. Look down here. Qualified, and coming into a measured move. Yeah, I'm taking that. Nothing here. We're below. We're above. Here I'm coming out of the squeeze, so I'm taking it right here. Got the full 24. Squeeze here. You would have taken another one. There's a full hit loser. Right, you're gonna lose 12 there. Cross below. We're above the 200. Here's cross above. No, we're getting towards the end of the day here, so I just left those off. How are we doing so far? 3,753, including fees, one lot trades, right? 24 tick target. Oh, and then I think here as we get it, I'll just carry this on, but again, you can see, I think you get the idea here. So here's another winner. Nothing here. You're not taking that short. Here's another winner. You're not taking anything here because you're above. You're not taking any shorts because you're above the EMA. So you finish. What did I do? I think I did 4 days there. But you know, this is kind of boring to watch. So, but the point is, I want you to do it. Right? You can grab this entire template just in trial. Grab all of them for a week. Trade it in sim for a week. See how you do. Backtest it as I've done here. Really, all I'm trying to do is get you to start thinking, right? Say, okay, could I do this? What are the conditions? Maybe you don't want to use Watt-Atar. Maybe you're going to use something else, something that you use for confirmation. Maybe you use an ADX, right, for trend confirmation. But keep it short term, maybe a 5 period. I mean, the 200 is. I mean, you could do it without the Watt-Atar. You could just use it just with the 200. It's just an extra filter, right? Are we expanding? It's not. This one's not necessary. 200. I wouldn't do it without the 200. I wouldn't. Right, you see all the times where you'd have been wrong. Right. Well, here's one. You would great winner. Right. But that's middle. That's the overnight. That would have been a great winner. But this is the filter. Right. You've got to have some filter here. If that's above the EMA, I'm not taking it. Plus the overnight. Another good winner. Right. But you're above the EMA. I'm not taking that. It's tempting. I mean, I'm not saying don't take it. I'm just saying if you want to use this in a mechanical way, that's one you don't take, right? If you're, for whatever reason you want to take that, have at it. Okay, I think that covers it. So that gives you some ideas to think about, something to test. I think what's on the price chart here would be essential. You might have a different tool that you want to use for confirm. Watertar is not a bad one, right? Because we're getting volume, volatility, some sort of a trend threshold down here as well. And then that in conjunction with what's on the price chart should be effective for you. All right, and then try it on some other markets. Try it on the NQ, try it on the YM, try it on CL. I mean, you're going to find similar results, but this would be a 2-hour video if I went to other markets. So the idea is to spark your interest in some ideas, and then take advantage of the manual backtester. It's quite effective and quite useful if you're not being overly generous, right? And then you come to the real markets and you have a different experience. The idea is to make it mechanical, so you can't fudge it. You can't, okay, right? I mean, there's plenty of times here where the market goes well beyond 24 ticks. Well, here's one right here. I'm just saying, okay, right, are you going to get, from entry to the absolute tick low? Probably not, right? So 24 seemed a reasonable target here, because that's 2-to-1 risk reward, right? Now you might test it at 3-to-1, see how you do. Just some ideas. Okay, guys, with that, I will wish you good luck here and hope you'll experiment here. Okay, talk to you next time.